We have become a divided country. We must change the course of our nation. Our debt is 100% of our gross domestic product. Congressional Budget Office says we have 10 years to turn our economy around before our debt is irreversible. Our two basic political philosophies have us either taking from one group and giving to another, or pulling ourselves up by our own bootstraps. The moderate simply says a little of both. None of these really represent the American way. Americans fight for each other. We help each other. We work together and we don't leave each other stranded. We don't take from each other. We like volunteerism and we don't like to be forced. We still want the opportunity to make it big and we believe in the American dream. We simply expect a fair shake. Only a third-party candidate and a new idea can break the political impasse of Washington. I have that new idea and will lead our nation in a different way of thinking. By combining conservative and libertarian traits of less government, not telling people what to do, low taxes, economic and personal responsibility, with liberal traits of inclusiveness, social progress, enrichment, and equality, I will show each of the political parties how to get what they want and lead. The working name of this new economic model is trickle-up economics. It is new. As the name indicates, it is grassroots, it's bottom-up, it's revolutionary, and it's a game changer. Americans will quickly begin to thrive and our national debt will reverse to a surplus. Government dependence will immediately decline. Income and opportunity disparity will equalize. Our banking system will stabilize. The economy will explode. More jobs will be available at higher wages with more benefits. At the core of trickle-up economics is Birth Loop Plus 25, which are actually two different economic programs powerful enough to break the poverty cycle. We will solve the problem of our permanent underclass, and we will systematically end poverty in America. Birth Loop is even more powerful than just ending poverty. Other ready-to-unveil programs include Birth Loop Universal Health Care, Birth Loop International Aid. We will change the world, but for now, let me explain the basic, Birth Loop Plus 25. There are two components to Birth Loop Plus 25. One is when we were born and one is when we turn 25 years old. Our current cycle works like this. Although banks and financial institutions are mostly self-funded, they also borrow money from the Federal Reserve for almost free. It's 1/4%. In turn, our financial institutions lend it back to the government at about 3%, to our businesses at 5% and higher, and to us for up to 39%. Which we will repeal to 18.9%. In the current financial cycle, we are at the end of the chain, but in the Birth Loop cycle, we will go to the front of the line. And here's an example of how, using 3% interest rate as an example. Birth Loop. At the moment a new citizen is born, our government will put $67,000 at a financial institution in the name of that child. That financial institution and not the child will have complete authority over that money for the next 25 years. Just as always, they can loan it back to the government, to businesses, or to us for our home and car loans. But for the use of our money, they will pay us 3% interest per year. That's $2,000 per year in interest that will grow in the name of that child, and over 25 years, that becomes $50,000. At the age of 25, two things will happen. That financial institution will pay the entire $67,000 in principal back to the government for a 100% recovery of the initial outlay of money. In effect, this plan will cost the government nothing. This economic plan is colorblind, it's gender blind, it's political party blind, It is blind to the makeup of the family unit. It is what America needs now. I am Jack Robinson Jr., and I am running for President of the United States of America.